Appreciate it. Yeah, no, you talked a little bit, just kind of about Talia and whatnot. We got a chance to talk with the receivers in the past couple of weeks, but just kind of wanted to hear maybe your talk or your thoughts on the run game, just kind of how it's going through the first couple of weeks. I know Colby McDonald's been able to kind of take advantage of some opportunities, but just kind of with the midway point.
Yeah, I'd say it's been up and down. There was a game I thought the UVA game where we were able to. I thought we did a little bit in the second half of Charlotte as well, where the run game we were able to rely on it. It was consistent, but if I were to say not as consistent as we're going to need it to be, and it's really important, especially now in Big Ten play, the ability to control the ball and run the ball comes up big. And so, we're still a work in progress in the run game, but we've had bits and pieces of games where I thought it showed what we could be. And it's not always blocking either. A lot of times when you hear the run game isn't, effective, it's not because always of the blocking, because there are times where there's holes there and we're missing reads and, we need to get the ball to the open gap. And so a combination there.
We'll go to Taylor.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
Taylor, what's up, man? How'd you get out of class? Tried to schedule it in class.
Yeah, I had a couple questions about Gunnar Brewer. When you hired him, just what were those conversations like between you and him that made you realize that he was the guy for the job?
I mean, I tried to hire Gunnar when I first got here, and we were in talks in 2019, and I think he took a job or had just been leaving the Eagles and took a job at Louisville. Gunnar and I go way back. I've known Gunnar a long, long time. He worked obviously with Larry Fedora. He worked with Mike Gundy, both guys that I've had a chance to work with. So there's some common people there. We had never worked together, but I'd run into him on the road recruiting. And Gunnar's one of those personalities that, he has never met a person that's not a friend. And he, has that ability there with relationships. And he's also been one of the better receiver coaches over the years in the country. He's coached Randy Moss in college. So, he's had, I think, a couple of Balintikoff Award winners. Really, really fundamentally a really strong fundamental coach. And he's been really good for the development of our receivers over the last couple of years.
Yeah, you touched on that personality that he has. He seems like a guy who he's always trying to strike the balance between coaching hard, but also, having fun while doing it. Do you kind of get that sense as well? And how have you seen the players respond to him and his personality?
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, in this day and age of the landscape we're in, players, they need to know you care about them besides just, what they can do for you on the football field. And Gunnar's one of those guys that goes above and beyond. I mean, I know Thursday night they do pizza and wings, just the receivers, and they watch practice. And he's always with those guys, man. And, he invests quite a bit of time into those guys, and not just as football players, but as people. And, you could tell he's the son of a coach. His dad, Billy Brewer, one of the successful collegiate coaches down at Ole Miss, and growing up in this profession as a coach's kid, I think he saw what was modeled, and that's kind of what he's done as an assistant and as a coach.
We'll go to George.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Jorge, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. I don't think anybody's asked you yet about the new clock rules and everything, and I was just curious if you felt that I've heard a lot of coaches around college football talk about how it feels like you're getting less plays because the clock's not stopping outside of 2 minutes on first downs anymore. From watching it from the press box, it seems like the elapsed time of the game is still kind of roughly the same. But I'm curious, do you feel like, hey, we don't have as many plays, or we're not getting as many chances with the ball as we did in previous seasons?
I have not in totality, but I can tell you, there's been a couple of games this year where you look up in the first quarter and the other teams had the ball 10 minutes and you've had it 4. And so my concern with it when we made the change was the shortening of games to where, I'm a guy that likes to play a lot of players. We try to develop a bunch of players, and the only way to develop is by playing. And so, we haven't You know, I think the lowest amount of plays we may have had in the game was 71 on offense. So, you know, we're a team that tries to get 80 plays. I think what we've seen is we've lost about 6 to 8 plays a game now because of this rule. I haven't felt the necessarily felt the effects of it just yet, but I'm sure that, you know, as we continue to utilize it, you know, we'll see. We'll do the research on it.
Does anyone have anything else?
Great.
All right.
See
Easy.
you guys Saturday.
Thanks.